Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Episode 4 of the Adoption Pod. Mikkel's not here, as you've noticed. We have a special guest today, a crypto OG, JChains in the house. What's going on,
What's up?
JChains? How you been?
Yo, my guy, Mike. I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you having me, asking me to fill in for the other Mike. You can call me Mike if you want. We can still do that.
You're JChains Mick or fake Mick. That's what they
You
say.
know, it seems to be like the theme for me lately in my shows is that there's or in my Telegram or in my Twitter account that there's a fake news. So right on par with the course, my guy.
Fake chains, and now we got feather chains today.
Oh yeah, this is it. I'm going back to my roots, man. I used to be a cowboy. I figure I got to go back to my roots a little bit,
Yeah.
and so I'm gonna start rocking that. You know,
That's it.
maybe not
Maybe this
every
is
day.
your cowboy arc. You're gonna lasso in some gains.
Dude, I'll have a picture posted for tomorrow morning. I know my wife has it somewhere. It's a picture of me riding a horse, spinning a lasso. I mean, that's one of my tattoos. Uh, it's hard to. That's a weird angle. There you go. So it's got a brand number on it, 2686. That was my horse that I rode when I was doing all this rancher stuff. So back to my roots we go. Let's get it.
That's actually really cool. That's a really cool backstory. So, you've been working like the whole podcast here is about adoption, and you've been, really going down in the weeds with, VChain and the V Better DAO. You were recently just at a UFC fight.
Mhm.
Tell me about what you got going on because you got an exciting bunch of stuff going. Your past couple weeks have been pretty exciting for you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I will. It's been really, really cool. I'm very fortunate. One to know some people in the VChain ecosystem, and specifically how it relates to the UFC relationship. And so the past couple months they had an event in Atlanta, then they had Nashville, and then there was just an event out in New Orleans. So the last 3 UFC events that have been here in the United States, I've been able to go to and participate with the V Better DAO crew and just whether it was just hang out, be there, take pictures. We got to go into the cage. It's so fun to be able to hang out with the V Better fam, the V fam as we like to call ourselves, and just they up in the jumbotron or up in the on the big screens and over the PA at all the events. They're doing commercials for some of the apps and dapps and stuff. So BYB is one of the ones they're doing right now, which is it's really cool. That's the Build Your Better. So it's like, I mean, how cool is it that we can, one, really have fun with what we're doing, but two, teach people how to get into crypto at such a low barrier to entry. And so I'm really excited to talk with you about this, like specifically because we're talking about mass adoption and how it relates. And I'm having a amazing time really connecting with normal people, just in like integrating like this ecosystem into my daily life, but then doing it out in public and people asking me like what I'm doing. So it's been fun, man. I'm having a good time doing it. So it's back to your question. It's been really cool to be able to connect with these people and kind of travel around in some capacity while everything was contained here to the south. But next month's in Chicago, and I think that's where I'm from. And so I think I got 2 tickets waiting for me, and me and my brother are going to be in Chicago at the UFC 319.
Wow, talking about going back to your roots, eh?
Yeah,
So, absolutely.
I was just back home too. I got to hang out with my family, so it was a fun time.
That's really good. I feel like all Twitter, like I swear, like Twitter, we all come together. Everyone was touching grass this weekend, like hardcore. Like a lot of people were away.
Much needed, definitely much needed time to touch grass and get some fresh air and just take a breath. Like it's been, the market itself has been really interesting, right? Like we had an amazing run up towards the tail end of last year, and pretty much the first. I know we just got through the first half of the year, but if you look at the charts, and I'm sure we will later, December through April were just a slide down. We've gone up since, and so maybe we can catch our breath and we'll have that volatility where we get some positive days and some red days like today. And you can't see it behind me right here, but all the charts are red today.
Yeah.
So
So I feel like depending on who you ask, I feel like there's two bull markets. You ask is Bitcoin maxi, great bull run. You ask an altcoin holder, waiting for it to start.
it's the Bitcoin bull run. We all knew that. We've been talking about that. We talked about that in the morning show. Is that this is what the institutions want? The sovereign wealth funds, the nation states. They're not talking about shitcoins. They're not talking about my favorite coin and your favorite coin. They're talking about Bitcoin, and that's the theme right now. The legislation and how things are passing, strategic reserves, and all that stuff. Bitcoin is the star of the show, and so I'm actually surprised, and I'm looking forward to the charts and maybe looking at the dominance chart to see where it's at, because I honestly thought that because of how big of the star of the show it is, we were going to still make that climb up to 70%. But I'm not sure if we lost 60% yet, but I know it's been sliding into the low 60s from, yeah, it was like 65 and a half, or maybe even closer to 66 at the peak. So who knows where
I
we're
think
going with
last
that.
time I checked, we were at 61. We just kind of pumped out of a falling wedge, but
Ah,
it's kind of rolling over. So like I was looking at it earlier today. We'll break it down a little bit later. I'll show my chart, and I've been tracking Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance for basically since November. I've been
okay.
following it for a while, so I got some work to show us. But tell me about the V Better DAO. I've been
Yep.
getting better tokens by charging my Tesla. And you're doing a lot more. You got a lot of different things going on. So let me know, because I love to hear about it, because I want to add more to my portfolio here.
Yes. Yeah. So again, caught the bug with it only because like it was something that again, it's you talk about being able to have a low barrier to entry and really teach people how to get into crypto in a fun way. And so, when I first learned about the VBetterDAO ecosystem, and it actually had come through my buddy Flame, who he's an ambassador. He talks a lot about what's going on. He's really in the know. He works with some projects and all that stuff. And he's just like, hey, like, because he knew I was VChain OG. He's like, hey man, you should take a look at this kind of this ecosystem that's getting started up, and really pay attention to it. And that was like some just really good advice, because how cool is it to where, I drink coffee every morning, and I drink at least a pot of coffee, sometimes more. And now, because I drink out of a sustainable cup, and I'm always drinking out of a sustainable cup, if I go to Starbucks, if I go to Dunkin' Donuts, wherever I go, I'm always going to bring my mug anyway, because like, I think at Starbucks you save money, but for me, it's just because I want my own cup. And now if you take a picture, whether you are at a establishment or you're even at your house, as long as you're not drinking out of a paper cup, you're going to get some rewards for it. So like, man, that's pretty easy. What else is there? There's, walking around cleaning up after your dog. That's something that you can get rewarded for. So it's like, wait a second. You start to think like, these are things that I'm doing every single day, right? I drink out of it's over at my desk, but I drink out of a Yeti water bottle every day. I fill it up, I don't know, 10 times or whatever it is, like so many times. You can get rewards for that through bubbles, right? So it's the things that you're doing, living sustainably. Again, you drive a Tesla, and I know that you get rewards for it. Obviously you pay your electricity bill, and so to charge your car at home costs you money. But if you make a couple bucks or a $1.50 back right now, and I remember the token was up to 50 cents once before, so it's going to be a nice little kickback on that charge if the reward structure stays the same when the price gets back up. But it's just, the whole idea of participating in this ecosystem where we can get rewarded for doing everyday actions. It's like, man, that was a no-brainer to me. And ultimately, and I know we'll talk about this more, but that's what got my wife into crypto. And when you think about this, man, I've been doing content in crypto since 2017. 2017. And it took me until 2025 to get her into crypto. And it's just because I was taking a picture of my coffee in the morning.
And that's the thing that I really love about it. It's really stuff that you're already doing. It's not, people will be like, I don't know about this crypto thing, right? And it's like, but you know what? It's just taking a picture of of a mug, or your mug or something like that. You got to make it easy for people. Like, so, like I said before, like people will look under the hood if they're really, really interested about it, but most people don't care. Most people just want something that's easy, and they don't want to go too far, especially if they're just dipping their toes in. They want to keep it easy as possible. And you're already doing this. Why not get paid for it? Who the hell knows? Like I broke down my Tesla charge. And my Tesla
Mhm.
charge usually from like 40% or 30% to like 80%, because you never charge it to 100%. It's about $5 when I calculate my Hydra rate. I was making like $1 back in VBetter tokens charging my Tesla. So it's like 1/4 of my charge was paid back. And my goal here is my whole charging for the year, when when we have that really big altcoin season and things really start to pop off and go crazy. My goal is to pay for my year's worth of charging with
Hmm.
better tokens. And I honestly think it's possible. Like, if it hit 50 cents before, why couldn't it hit $1 or even 50 cents again? And at that time, I'm in stacking. Every 3 days, I charge my car, right? So you get a little bit more better token here and there.
Yeah, I would want to know, like, if there was any difference in the tokenomics with where VeChain was in the past, because all-time high is like 28 cents, right? And it's like stuck around the 3 cents right now, somewhere in that range. And so for this thing to 8x, back up to where it was, I'm okay with that. And for the better token, which has better tokenomics, certainly, I think there's like, if I'm not mistaken, like 83 or 86 billion VeChain tokens, the VET token, but there's only 1 billion of the better token. And so you've got better tokenomics. And while, obviously VeChain is the star of the show right now. And you think about what they've done, they got that program with Walmart China for the food sustainability and traceability program, where I think in like the first couple years, whatever it was, they did 200 million transactions, which was like, holy smoke. So that was some massive blockchain activity. So that, they've done that, and they've got some other partnerships, in the world of major brands in Web 2 that they've integrated some blockchain stuff into. But we'll see where this all goes, man. I'm hopeful that not only the partnership with UFC, but honestly, just the idea of people wanting to be better and get better. That's obviously an ethos that I carry with me. We talk about it every single day on the show in the morning. And there's some other people that are really they're firm believers, like Dana White. He's a strategic advisor now to VeChain. He's not an ambassador like some other people are. He's a strategic an advisor. He sits on the advisory board, and so he's fully in. Like he understands, he believes, he understands the sustainability side of it. And so I think once that catches on, it'll catch on like wildfire, and we'll see the ecosystem grow for sure.
Absolutely. I got into VeChain, like I knew about VeChain in the previous bull run, but I started buying like one of my bigger altcoin positions. In 2022, I bought a lot of VeChain, and just because I knew what it was supply chain. I knew it was like one of the very few altcoins that are actually being used and not just fueled by speculation. So I'm like, okay, well, they've been using it. You look at their website, you see all the partners, Walmart's, and all these big stores that are using them for your supply chain. And then you get it. I bought my bag, and all of a sudden I see the partner with UFC, the Be Better DAO and what they're doing there. I'm like it just became so much better as an investment. Like the value just kept growing and growing, and
Mhm.
on VeChain, which is crazy. I just thought it was a supply chain coin, and now it's so much
That's
more.
that's what got me into it in the first place. Like back in the day, like when I first got into crypto in like 2017, 2018, VeChain was one of my first projects. There he
Yo
is.
yo.
VeChain was one of my first because the job that I was the director of operations for a ground transportation logistics company. And the fact that that was kind of like, supply chain was their thing. I was like, I got to get into this because this is my world. And now because they're into the whole sustainability and they got another whole arm to what they do. Man, I got this thing. It's running through my veins, baby.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, what's up?
Welcome. So this is the old crypto OG
How
Ken
goes it?
Bosak, and now he's a fighter.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude.
It says you're having connection issues, eh?
Me or
Or
you?
is that me?
I don't know.
It seems that there's a little bit of a delay.
There might be a little bit of a delay.
All right.
I don't do you have a delay with me, Jay, or no?
No, we did not before.
Yeah, the audio keeps breaking up and stuff.
Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can troubleshoot if it's on my end. I don't know if it is, but we'll see.
Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, both your videos keep going to this video is paused due to problems with your network. So it could be my network.
I think it might be on your end, brother. Want to try reconnect?
Yeah, let me restart my computer. I'll BRB.
No worries, no worries.
B.
Might be that he's on the West Coast, so it might be a little different, right? Because he's gonna probably actually, you know what? That's actually probably what it is. He's probably
It's hot,
getting,
eh?
like, yeah, it was hot like when we were there for the Bitcoin conference, and like we've had this heat wave here. I'm sure you have it where you are, but here in Canada, and it has been hot, like Vegas hot, like here in Canada, which is I'm not complaining. I'll take this over snow any day of the week.
I'll tell you what, it's been a scorcher just about everywhere we went. Again, we traveled around the last couple months doing the UFC stuff, and it's obviously Atlanta's a scorcher. We went up to Nashville, man. It was hot as blazes up there. We was down in New Orleans. It's humid here. I'm gonna tell you something. It's humid here, but the humidity down in NOLA is on another level. And then we went to Biloxi, Mississippi on our way back. Emmy, we were driving past the Gulf the whole time, and Emmy was like, "Oh, I want to go to the beach," and so we ended up, going to the beach in Biloxi, Mississippi. And man, I'll tell you what, that was a scorcher. It is just hot, 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 hot everywhere, though.
Yeah, I hear Florida's having like a crazy heat wave right now, so that's gonna be an interesting one. But yeah, man.
Corey had said like it's hot as blazes where he's at, right?
Yeah, and he's like North Florida, so like that's not even the tip. So hopefully it stays that hot when we go to Futures Conference in November. I'm gonna be bringing a drone, so we're gonna get some cool footage
Oh,
with the drone. Yeah. So I wanna Lauren and Tracy have been really, really nice. They got me media passes. I got Mikkel, and I don't know if you know Brooke Lacey. She's gonna be coming as well. I got them media passes, so I'm looking to make some cool content up in Florida. Welcome back.
Hey,
All right, there we go. Better already.
There you go, man.
What's up, my dude?
So welcome to the stream. Welcome to the
goes it?
show. Newly fighter. So been sharing your story with all the training and what's going on. You had a nice steak that you posted earlier. One meal a day. I don't know how you do it, man.
Oh no, the internet's still not working on my end for some reason. What happened? It was just perfect.
You're coming through perfect.
You're coming through perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Both of you are not. It's breaking up really bad on my end.
All right. Let me see if I can
Dang.
lower my settings here, and maybe
Okay. Ooh, we want Ken. We want Ken. We want Ken.
100%. Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm gonna go down to auto, and maybe you know what, Ken, maybe just change your video to auto, and it might, instead of just trying to give you 1080p, it might lower it down to make it a little easier for you. So just go to your settings and go to video, and then change it to send resolution and receive resolution. Put it to auto, and it should automatically.
It's under auto, both of them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Are you still having a delay?
Yeah, I'm gonna click standard definition on both to see if that helps. Sorry about this, guys.
That's okay, no worries. We figured it out on the fly. It's all good.
Like
I'm like 2 feet away from the router too, so it can't be this. I'm gonna blame it being on Google Meet.
Probably, yeah. And you also West Coast, so like I probably connected to an East Coast server, and you're on the West Coast, so you've got at least like 100 ping.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
It's kind of working, but it's kind of not. I'll try to deal.
Okay, man. So tell me about what you guys got going on in the Bitcoin, the club that you guys got in Vegas now. I've been seeing some cool stuff with the construction that you guys got going on.
Yeah, so we remodeled we got a completely empty property. It's 5,000 square feet. There was nothing but bathrooms and a little kitchenette. But now we have these private offices for people to rent out. We built the platform area for performances or panels, keynotes, stuff like that. We also have a 30-foot by 9-foot, like complete like green screen void. It's completely immersive, so you could do full body content and just have like the green screen behind you, floor included as well. So yeah, we have that. We have a bunch of lounge space. It's a social lounge, so there's places for people to hang out. And we already have our first resident. We have a tattoo artist who has a space in the club, and he's working with DAOs. Right now, even Bitcoin Cash is giving him a monthly allowance to give away free tattoos that they reimburse him for giving away. So if you want a free Bitcoin Cash tattoo or some crypto tattoos, come to the club in Vegas, and Bitcoin Ben's got a tattoo artist. We're also working with Crypto Mondays. So big shout out to Crypto Mondays. We were just at one of their other meetups and we pulled up on Bitcoin Ben's party bus and we got them to come hang out on the bus, and that was a vibe. But yeah, right now we're looking to the grand opening. It's on August 2nd. And we have a couple days to just tidy up a couple things, but pretty much ready to go. We're going to keep adding to it throughout the year. So, I mean, if you do get to show up and check it out, I mean, you'll see things. We have Sergi, Do What You Love artist. He's going to be painting. He's done a bunch of the murals outside. He's done some art inside as well. You can see behind me, Do What You Love right there. He's done that mural and a few others inside the club. So we're going to keep adding art. It's going to be sort of like the crypto chapel, like walls, ceiling, everything's going to be covered in art. We have some other artists. Shout out to Carlos and Frankie. They're doing art on the bathroom and in the bathroom, like the doors and the walls. Even our storage closet has art on it. Like it says "Stay Out," but it's like super cool graffiti style. We already have about 30 members that are already paying the $50 a month membership, and we're not even officially open yet. So I just want to say, like, congrats to the whole team that I have put together out here. We got 30 people signed up. Our grand opening's on the 2nd. So again, 30 people before we even opened officially, which is really cool. I'm pretty proud of that. Going to Rare Evo, hopefully we can grab a bunch of people out of Rare Evo because it's like a local / travel event, like more locals go to that event than people traveling in just to go to Rare Evo. So that's cool. I'm hoping that we can grab the locals that are into crypto that are going to Rare Evo and let them know, hey, if you're into crypto enough to go to a conference, you're probably into it enough to come to my club and hang out. So I'll be at Rare Evo. JChains will be there.
I will. I get there Saturday morning. I think if I'm not mistaken, the party starts at noon. I get in at like before, a little bit before 11. I'm gonna come straight to the club, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited for the grand opening, and then, bro, we're gonna be obviously there a few days before Rare Evo starts. I just can't wait to do like hours and hours of content every single day. Do some training with you, man. I'm gonna bring my gloves. We'll just barn right there and live stream some shit, dude. It's gonna be fun as heck.
That's awesome. Are you doing
I've been
boxing?
running. Yeah, boxing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are you doing like I don't, is it CFN? I guess it would be, because IFC is done now, right? We don't know.
It's a crypto fight night.
Yeah.
At Crypto Fight Week.
Yep.
That's awesome. And so who are you fighting?
Grimace.
Oh, isn't that who you fought, Jay? Oh, that's gonna be awesome. When's the fight?
October 2nd in Singapore for Token 2049.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be sweet. What a location, Singapore. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty much what got me to say yes. Adam, shout out to Adam Charles. He hit me up and he was like, dude, you want a free flight and hotel in Singapore for Token 2049? I was like, yeah. He was like, would you fight for it? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, good, because you're gonna have to. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's awesome, dude. So you're the club.
We'll fight for travel and airfare and hotel. Yeah,
and
that's all it takes to get me.
Maybe a couple ice packs after.
Possibly. It's fun, man. It's such a cool experience. Like, dude, that was the same thing for me. It was just like, dude, to take a trip to Dubai and go bang gloves for a little bit. Like, yes, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like once in a lifetime potentially location, right? Like,
yeah, who cares if I get knocked out? I got knocked out. Like,
that's how I feel.
Great experience.
Who cares?
Take a nap. I got paid to take a little nap.
That's it. So
plus, you looked pretty good with that black eye, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You looked good. You rocked it well.
I'm sure there's because it's probably just us guys tonight. So I will tell you, the black eye goes real well. It like with the ladies, like that's you get the sympathy points. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. Okay,
for sure.
So get yourself in a fight.
And in Singapore, I'm hoping that'll 10x.
There you go. So tell me about the club and the membership. What do members get versus just being a just a casual person coming in?
Yeah, so there are day passes for people who just want to come in, hang out for the day, and just check it out, or if they need a place to relax and cool off while they're just traveling and they saw it and just more interested. They're $20. And that'll get you a day pass to just kind of hang out, help yourself to the amenities. We have a refrigerator stocked up. We have air fryer, Keurig machine. I believe we're getting a soda stream, all that kind of stuff for like the cafeteria type area. Plus there's that platform area that's first come, first serve, as well as the content creation area. So if you needed to make a quick video, like say you are at Rare Evo and needed to make a video, you could just get a day pass to the club, hang out. If there's a computer available, connect your phone to the HDMI, connect your we have Bluetooth keyboard and Bluetooth mouse at the workstation. So you can just like connect your phone. You get a big monitor. Everything connects to your phone. So you're bringing your own computer with you. So you don't have to freak out and be like, did I log out? You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah.
We wanted to avoid that. So we don't have the computers, but we have monitors, keyboards, and mice and stuff. But yeah, if you wanted to get a membership and come by all the time, it's $50 a month. Plus you can bring a guest with you when you come. So for $50 a month, you can come every day, hang out, help yourself to the amenities. First come, first serve to that platform area. If you wanted to do like your own keynote thing and invite people out or put together a panel, you could do that. If you're at Rare Evo again, you wanted to come and interview Charles somewhere really cool, you bring him to the club and interview him with a nice background, somewhere with good lighting, good equipment and stuff like that. So you don't have to bring all your stuff to Vegas. If we're here, you don't have to bring all that stuff and risk it getting damaged or lost in travel. You already have a membership. Plus, as there's like 6 functional other clubs or 7 other clubs right now. So you could go all around the country, and wherever Bitcoin Ben has a club, if there's a conference in that area, most likely there will be, you'll have a place where you can go and do some interviews there. Plus there's that podcast green screen area where you can go make your own content if you wanted to while you're out and about. So I think that's worth $50 a month to me. If I was traveling, going to conferences, to say, even if I could only do it for the weekend, I don't have to bring all my equipment with me and stuff. Yeah, I'm getting a membership. But for the locals, what's really powerful is we have the meetups. We're going to be doing meetups right now. We have the Crypto Mondays. On Sundays, Kat, she does the sermons. So like on Sunday, we have people come in and they'll just do their own thing and hang out in the social lounge area, and they'll pray, say a few prayers out loud, and then they'll just hang out. I mean, one of these prayer sessions brought Ronald G. Wayne into the club, one of the co-founders of Apple. The guy who like sold his shares for like $700. Yeah, that dude came into a prayer circle. Yeah, he was in a prayer circle in my club, just hanging out. And afterwards, we all just vibed, talking shit about Apple for a while, and Bush Beer, because he's working with Bush Beer now.
That's awesome.
So
That's
it's
cool.
the locals get a lot out of it in that sense. Plus, if you're not local and you're not a traveler, just get a membership to the club in general, because they do a lot of online workshops. So you could join like a Zoom class, and there's that beginner stuff like what's a private key, what's a public key, all that. We can help with that as well with online courses, plus some more advanced stuff for trading and stuff like that. Dude, but we also do the OTC. If you're a local and you're in Vegas and you're like, how do I buy Bitcoin? Get a membership to the club. We'll come in, buy it from me. I'll just give it right to you. You know what I mean? There's no KYC with the OTC. As long as you're a member to the club, it's just you and me.
Well, that's what Bitcoin was, as a peer-to-peer.
Oh, and there's corporate. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and there's a corporate memberships where we, I think, already have 1 or 2. Where if you have a corporate membership, that's $500 a month, but you get 15 of your team members, employees, or I would say like, team leaders, stuff like that. Like the people say, if you wanted to do like a Vegas meetup, well, you could just get your project a corporate membership, and every month you could have 15 people from your community meet up in the club, and that's covered by your corporate membership. So you could give them a place to go just by being like, a good Discord, Telegram, whatever community leader. If they live in Vegas, you can treat them to amenities for $500 a month. That's 15 people you can give this opportunity to. Plus they can capitalize on it, monetize the opportunity, host meetups for your project, and all that for $500 a month. Plus there's so much more.
Is there any capacity for someone to like say, Rare Evo was in town, or say it's the Bitcoin conference and they want to use the club as a kind of an event space? Do you guys rent the whole space out, or is that not really the idea behind it?
Yeah, no, there is an event space option as well. So it's a social club first, like social club first, right? Bitcoin Ben's crypto club, social club first. But then we have this workspace that's already kind of built into the social club. And then we have this event space that's kind of surrounds that social lounge. So we do have the option for people who do want to rent it out for the day. Obviously, the criteria would be if there is a private event that's been rented out for the venue. If it's something like a comedy show or whatever, if you're a member to the club, you have free access to that event. So if you do want to host an event, you do have to let people know that they have a membership. They get to come into your event for free. But when you do an event, everybody does have to sign the PMA and become a member for the day. So they'll just basically get a day pass.
Gotcha.
Dude, and I'll tell you, if you're a corporation, sole proprietorship business, content creator, whatever, that's a business write-off. Especially those online workshops. That's
Just true.
really good. And the whole theme of the show is mass adoption, and it's people like you that are educating the people to bring people in to get them educated, because everybody can just jump into they hear about it, altcoin, a meme coin, or whatever. But like getting in where you actually have foundations. What's a seed phrase? What's a wallet? Like, I know it's boring to people, but like it's very it's a necessity. You have to learn this stuff, because you can get burned if you don't. And then the problem is, like, some people come in, get burned. This crypto's a scam, and leave. But really, it isn't. Unfortunately, just had a bad experience. But with more knowledge, you'll mitigate a lot of those bad experiences.
So
yeah, there's people still to this day that will lose millions of dollars on a secondary market bought ledger. I think I just read recently somebody bought a ledger online. It wasn't from the Ledger Direct, and somebody already backed up the private keys, repackaged it. I think they put like 6 million or something on it, and it was just swept right away. So
God.
yeah, I mean, we're still that early that even if you have millions of dollars, that doesn't mean you're going to be safe with that. Like, you should probably still start with the basics and swallow your pride.
Yeah, I gotta go back to the basics myself.
100%. You know what? Like, I'm the same way. Like I there's times where like I'm like, I get a little lazy with my security and stuff like that. And I've been burned. I've had my wallet drained. I know JChains, you've had some issues recently, and it's security is so important, and it's you can't get complacent. You have to keep your security up, because again, like you said, we are still so early, and it is very lucrative right now, and there aren't a lot of protections in place yet, which we will have eventually, because you're just gonna have FDIC insurance for crypto. It's just gonna be in the same basket as everything else. I know FDIC insurance is a joke, but believe it or not, some people, like my grandma or something like that, if they see FDIC insurance, that'll make them feel comfortable to get into crypto, which is different strokes for different folks, right? Like,
if I'm not mistaken, Coinbase does have FDIC insurance, and not up to like 150K like your normal bank account, up to like 10K or something.
Yeah, so I use,
yeah, but it's not on Bitcoin. It's on the dollar amount.
Yeah, exactly. So I have I use ShakePay for my on ramp here in Canada, and they have now protection up to $1 million. But again, they won't be giving you your Bitcoin back. They're going to be giving you Canadian dollars, the Canadian peso, as I like to call it.
Canadian peso.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So that is really, really cool. I love the idea of the club. I'm going to be there in next year for the Bitcoin conference. So I'll be
end of April. So the conference is like the 28th and the 29th. My birthday is the 30th. We are going to
oh my God.
Oh, Vegas party. All right, bro. I'll be
no sleep
accommodated to the area and connected enough. Plus, I know Daryl. Shout out to Concierge, my concierge out here in Vegas. That dude, we can get in anywhere without the dress code, which is my favorite part of having a concierge in Vegas. You don't have to dress for dress code if you know a guy who knows a guy. When you're wearing like flip flops and shorts and you're the only dude in the whole venue, it's nice. Yeah. It's like my dad runs this place, My dad owns it.
It's so it's funny that you say that. One time we were out there for one of the conferences, and or actually I think maybe we were in Miami or Vegas, one of the places, with the dress code, and I was with Crypto Keeper. He shows up in a Lamborghini, right? And he had shorts on, and they're like, nope.
Are you kidding me?
Lambo. It's like, man, dude, that's cold-blooded.
Wow, no kidding. So I gotta ask you, we've crossed paths at the Futures Conference in Toronto. I think we met the first time we met was at the Pizza Dow, and not last year, but the year before it in Toronto. And I've been wanting to ask you for a while, like, how did you get into crypto? How did you find crypto? Because JChains told me that you were a crypto OG, and so tell me, I love hearing people's stories. Like, what did you do before crypto, and how did you get into it?
Well, before I got into crypto, I guess I was working at a cell phone repair shop. I was doing logic board repair. So I was doing micro soldering, data restoration, just like fixing electronics in general, but like doing cool stuff. It felt like brain surgery. Yeah. And so how I got into it kind of sucked because it was like all these life lessons and financial lessons all like just all slapped up right real quick. So I was working, I did a pretty good job. I got a raise, I was saving money, and I finally had a decent savings account. And I'm like, shit, like I feel like an adult. I should probably do some adult things with my adult money. So I was like, what should I do? And I was like, I should probably invest, right? So I was like, what should I invest in? And I started thinking about it. I Googled like a little bit of like, what should I invest in pretty much? And it was like, oh, Snapchat's going public soon. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I looked into like, did my own research a little bit. I looked into Snapchat, what they had going for them, like what their announcements were, all that stuff, partnerships. They had something coming up with like the Winter Olympics. And I was like, oh, this is cool. They had spectacles, which, were these vending machines that had like kind of Ray-Ban metaverse glasses kind of things. Like they were kind of dumb smart glasses. Anyway, I saved up a bunch of money, and this is how much I knew at the time. This is like 2015, early 2015 or something, whenever you could look and see when the stocks were going live. But I walked into a bank, bro, with like 5 grand or 10 grand in cash. And I was just like, here, I want to invest in Snapchat. And the bank dude was like, that's not what we do here, bro. Like, I was like, I don't even have a bank account, man. Like, I need to like help. I was like, help. So basically they sat me down with one of like the bank people, the people that are always sitting there. I don't know what they do. They're just always sitting there. They're like, whatever. I sat with one of those people, and they were like, so what are you trying to do? I was like, I want to put this money into Snapchat. And they were like, well, you're going to need a bank account. You're going to need a TD Ameritrade or whatever other thing and all this stuff. And then like throughout all the conversation, they found out it was like not public yet. It was like an IPO. And they're like, dude, you're not a accredited investor. You can't even invest in it yet. And I was like, what the hell does that even mean? So like they had to teach me about like accredited investing, and literally just a poor banker teaching a degenerate stoner what to do with their money, right? So I was like, all right, so what's the next step? And they were just like, well, put the money in the bank, open an account. When it goes live, it'll be on TD Ameritrade. Just buy the stocks through your account, link it all up. So I did all that. Snapchat was like $2 or $4 when they were IPO, and it went public, and it was my first time ever investing. So I was like, cool, let me like go all in. It went public at like $22, and it dropped down to like $6-8 or something, and I just like lost all my money like day one. It was like day one. I'm like, what just happened, bro? Like, I thought this was the only time people were allowed to invest. How is this going down? If this is the only, like, I was like, oh yeah, the IPO, they just sold it on us. I'm an idiot. So all that came to me, and I was like, I'm screw all this. I sold all my stuff. I was on TD Ameritrade looking around, and I found some weed stocks. And I was like, wait, you can invest in weed like legally? Again, this is like 10 years ago. So I'm like, it's blowing my mind. That's like, there's weed tickers, there's tickers that talk about Cannabis Inc. and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, so let me look into some of those stocks. And I bought like a bunch of them around like a penny or 10 cents, and all these like little cheap stocks. And they actually made most of my money back, actually more. I made a bunch of money actually, and I'm thinking about it, because one of them went from like 3 cents to like $4, and I was just like, I'm selling, I'm good. And I told one of my friends this story, and he was like, bro, Ethereum's ICO, it has no KYC, like they're not doing like an IPO. You can get in before it's even public. And I'm like, oh shit, like wait, they don't, like I don't need no one's permission to do anything with my money. And they're like, nah dude, just YOLO. So I did. I was just like, I took all of it out of the stocks and stuff. I went and opened a Coinbase account. At the time, there was only Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I just went all in basically. The day he mentioned Bitcoin and Ethereum ICO, I bought a whole Bitcoin. It was like 420 something bucks. And I wrote an article. I don't know what a Bitcoin is, but I own one. And yeah, I mean, ever since then, it just all in. I quit my day job about a year after that, so around 2016, the end, 2017, the beginning. I kind of quit and I was like, I'm out of here. I started traveling the world, going to conferences, been to hundreds and hundreds of these conferences, literally all around, up and down, on cruise conferences, island conferences. Half of them I crash. I just show up and sneak in, and eventually I'll get in trouble, but then I meet the organizers and then next year they invite me. So it's worked out so far. I've been a multimillionaire several times. First time I was a multimillionaire, I got hacked and I lost everything.
Oh, no.
Literally on a live stream on YouTube, I was talking shit and somebody in the chat was like, check your wallet. And I was like, damn, it's empty.
Oh
And they
my
said, check your
God.
email. And we were talking shit in the YouTube chat for a while, bro. It got crazy. But I think they thought I was going to be more upset. But I was just like, I could care less, really. But then John McAfee reached out to me. Rest in peace. Fucking love you, John. He sent me some funds and sent me a Sentinel sensor, which is like this honeypot thing that I put between my router and my the internet connection itself. Anyway, never found the hacker, but it was cool. Next time I became a millionaire, I kind of like lost it all in trades and just didn't care. I'm a degenerate, bro. And then the most recent time I've sold about 2 million NFTs or so on Wax, and most of them were for $1, but I made over $1 million myself doing it. And then I just spent it since the pandemic till now, just kind of living off that, spending it, and being again a degenerate. And now I was in Bulgaria working with Asvoria as an advisor when Bitcoin Ben called me and said, do you want to move to Vegas and run a club? And I looked down at this shitty brown weed that I was smoking in Bulgaria, and I remembered how good weed was in Vegas. And I said, you know what, Ben, you got yourself a deal, brother. So I literally flew from Bulgaria to Vegas and started, April 1st. I looked for the property. About 4 weeks later, we got the keys to the property, and we're about to have our grand opening August 2nd.
Dude, I love that story. Honestly, that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to make my first million and quit my job, because the 9 to 5 thing is just draining me. But we're here. I'm here for the long term. Like I'm mostly a Bitcoin maxi. I use altcoins to make me more Bitcoin, but I'm like 80% Bitcoin. Because honestly, like I honestly, the part of it is like I started as an Ethereum miner, and I got in, and then Ethereum went to proof of stake, and I'm like, well, that's pretty shitty of you guys, like, because I was in the calls for I was in the Ethereum calls, and like the miners were like, no, like we're the security of the network, like we don't want this, like you guys are gonna like make Ethereum worse, and then they moved to proof of stake, and they said, go screw yourself to the miners essentially. And that left a really bad taste in my mouth. So I'm like, screw you guys. Like, so I sold all, I had like 150 graphic cards. I built a room in my basement just for mining. And I sold all my GPUs before they went to proof of stake, because we knew it was coming in September. So I sold a couple months earlier. I went full port in the Bitcoin. I bought 10 Bitcoin miners. I got them hosted at a company. And honestly, next cycle, I don't even think I'm going to buy altcoins. I think I'm just going to be in Bitcoin, because I don't think I need to be in altcoins anymore at that point. I'm hoping, but
that's what I'm doing all Bitcoin right now, man. I'm not a maxi by any means. I fucking manifested the shitcoin conference, but no one's talking about a shitcoin ETF. No one's talking about shitcoin reserves. If Bitcoin doesn't do well right now, nothing at all is going to do well. And even if it does do well, it's not going to have 100x 1000% gains on these altcoins anymore. It's just that's not happening again. Bitcoin's going to absorb so much liquidity that I see the Bitcoin correlation to a lot of these like shitcoin prices getting decoupled really quick. Like right now, when Bitcoin rises, it raises the ship of all shitcoins, but that will decouple when that liquidity starts coming in so quickly and consistently into Bitcoin that they can't keep up. I mean, we got the next 2 years to make sure of this, but
I think you might
I would wait till
cycle.
after this upcoming halving. Not till after the halving.
Oh, what I was saying is like I think you might see some decoupling this cycle, because I think a lot of altcoins are not going to hit all-time highs again. Like I think that people are hoping that some coins are going to hit all-time highs. I think some maybe even top 10 projects may not hit all-time highs. And you can all the attention's on.
No,
Bitcoin,
I couldn't
right?
agree more.
Like this whole cycle.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to be consistent money in. It's not Yeah, the reserves, ETFs, not the ETFs, the reserves, the retirement plans, the 401ks, and all that other stuff. That's all buying, buying, buying. There's no sell pressure coming from that. So there's permanent buying consistently. There's nothing else that would be able to keep up with that. Like I'm saying, it's when it's like what I'm saying, like the liquidity faucet will just be on for Bitcoin. And no one, they're not going to be, the United States Bitcoin reserve isn't going to be day trading the damn reserve. It's just going to be buying it all day, every day. And that's going to be everybody's retirement plans. Steak and Shake's probably going to start paying their employees in Bitcoin. So there goes another thing. It just keeps getting bought to be given out. It's going to get used instead of sold. I don't have to sell my Bitcoin for dollars to buy a Steak and Shake. I just go to Steak and Shake. They take Bitcoin as is. So I think that's where we're going to start seeing that Bitcoin number just go up.
Yeah.
Like Michael Saylor keeps saying, dude ain't wrong, bro. Once it starts, it's going to be insane. And it's not going to raise anything with it. It's completely going to leave everything in the fucking dust.
I think Pompliano said it recently, kind of to that same effect, is, what we're going to see is the OTCs are going to dry up, and you're going to see that at some point the U.S. government is going to announce that they are, because obviously, we've got the strategic reserve is going to be funded from the seizures and all that stuff that the marshals have and all that stuff, or who knows where we're at. But once they announce that they are actively buying, that is going to trigger the domino effect, because everybody's going to have to try to catch up, or at least not just get left in the dust.
Yeah.
It's like
it's the next space race.
It's like you were saying. It's funny actually you say the space race, because like I feel like last like cycle or the cycle before, like I got in 2018, and it was like the wild west, and I feel like it is again, because you have all like the green light from the regulators, for people to make Bitcoin. The Genius Act with companies can make stable coins, so that's a huge on ramp to crypto. I feel like it is the wild west, because now institutions and companies got the green light and they feel more safe to be able to start putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and treasury companies and all that kind of stuff like that. And like you said before, like they're not selling, because imagine if a hedge fund takes 1% of people's retirement, that's a nothing to them. But like that's trillions of dollars. Yeah. Like that's a big
and it's a taxable event. It's a taxable event when they sell. So they'll just hold it till it went to zero and just try to figure out some kind of way to get bailed out, get a write-off out of it or something. They'll finesse the system, right? But they're not going to panic sell. All this level of buying, like I said, it's permanent buy pressure. Yeah. They wouldn't sell even if it went down 80%. Why would they? They would get more of a kickback from the government or a bailout from the banks or whatever excuse they come up with to launder money through that channel. They don't care. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Even when they lose, they win. So, but anyway, it's just permanent buy pressure for Bitcoin right now that's coming in. It's sort of like a tsunami. Like I'm seeing the tide move back from the sands, and I'm kind of running, while people are like, "What's happening?" I'm like, dude, this amount of liquidity that's coming into Bitcoin is going to be legendary. And I hope, with what we're seeing with this, what was it, the Genius Act or whatever, and the stable coins and stuff, like the Federal Reserve better be shitting bricks right now. Like that is. They're about to get fired. Like, could you imagine being them right now, dude? Right. Like, what is their purpose in life? Why do they exist? How do they stay relevant? And now that not just Bitcoin and these Genius Act with stable coins, they have Ripple, and they have Ripple stable coin, and they're really scared now. So I'm hoping that in my lifetime we see the end of the Fed, like genuinely.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And the Fed.
It's so funny. Like my aha moment was, when it came to crypto, was like I was literally sitting in my financial advisor's office, doing like you said, like you were doing. Like I'm an adult now. I have extra money. I gotta invest my money, and here we have something called in Canada the RRSP, which is like the equivalent of like a Roth IRA or something like that, and a TFSA, which is a tax-free savings account, right? And so I was investing in that, and I was like, you just plug in the numbers and like, oh, how do you, they ask you the same questions. How long do you expect to live? How much money do you need per month? And it's like, but you don't know. You don't know how much they're going to debase the currency. So I'm like, okay, I said, put in a realistic number. So I said food went up 30% from COVID. And I said, let's just put 4% because, and he said, oh, you have to put like $4,000 a month away to even just like maintain like my current purchasing power. And that's the thing. Houses have gone up more than 30%. Food's gone up more than 30%. Gas has gone up more than 30% since 2020. So that's the thing. They're asking you all these questions, and you don't know. And I see it in my personal life, like my in-laws retiring. People in my family that are retiring, and like they expected to have, they were gonna do well in retirement. Now they're retiring. It's like I gotta pinch pennies because they didn't. You can't. It's impossible to know how much you're gonna need when you retire because you don't know how much they're going to debase the currency. And for me, I looked at the pension. It's like, oh, you're pulling from your pension. You're getting poorer over time. But like if you invest in Bitcoin, you're getting richer over time because the lifestyle points just keep increasing. So that's the cash flow that Bitcoin brings when you invest in Bitcoin.
Hey man, as long as they don't achieve quantum computing in our lifetime, we're set, bro.
But then the miners will be quantum computers themselves. You'll have quantum fighting quantum.
Yeah, but that's when it becomes irrelevant. Money and currency and the ideology around it will become so archaic because it will become irrelevant, like real fast.
We're just gonna be entertaining people on the internet. That's it. That's our purpose after an AI
Yeah,
comes in.
no, that's at the second episode of Black Mirror, the guy riding the bicycle and nobody knows why they're riding bicycles.
That show's crazy.
That show is absolutely crazy.
Well, speaking of Bitcoin, I think we're gonna get into some charts. You're more than welcome to stick around if you want, but if not, I do appreciate you coming on and explaining what you guys, what you got building, the fight, the club. I love how you're bringing, adoption, especially into Bitcoin, because I think it's really important. I really think
Thank you.
you should get into Bitcoin first, and then explore your options. I like study Bitcoin, study the 4-year cycle, and once you have, you're armed with that knowledge, then bring yourself down the risk curve and have some fun.
Yeah, what I like to tell people is try to make your own shitcoin first. Like before you buy something somebody else made, try to make it yourself. See what the process is like, see how hard it is, see what's, like you can do what they did. You can, be like Satoshi and make your own Bitcoin and just feel that out like with your own hands and your own eyes, your own mind. And then from that point go, oh, maybe I should get this one because they put this effort into it, makes it a little smarter or whatever. You'll understand it a little bit more. It's not that hard.
That's
It's
actually
really not.
really,
So,
really good
and
way
I
to
will
look at
say
it.
I'm a fundamental analysis guy, so I won't stick around for the charts, but I do like my FA over TA. I'm usually a day ahead of the charts when it comes down to stuff because, like, again, the fundamentals just tell the technicals where to go. The technicals are always a day late, especially when you look at where China could go with today's news here in the US. So, anyway, fundamentals over technicals, but y'all enjoy your charts.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you.
See you, homie. I'll see you in a few days, my brother.
Hey, yeah, JChains, you'll be here, like in the club in a couple days. I'll see you, bro.
Go. I'll see you soon, man.
Have a day.
All right, later. That was awesome, dude. That story, man. I've been ever since you told me like who he was at the not consensus at the blockchain futures conference. I was like, I gotta ask this guy how he got into crypto. Like, I love hearing people's stories. That's my thing. Like, I just love hearing how people got in. I know people that were nurses that came in, people that were teachers that came. Like, it's so cool the walk of life and how you got it. Like, I literally I got into crypto because I play a nerd card game, Magic the Gathering, and my friend told me about Ethereum, some Canadian coin, whatever, right? I'm like, and here we are, 8 years later or 9 years later now.
You know where it's going to take you, right?
Yeah, fuck Ethereum. And all right, let me share my screen. We'll get some charts going here. Here we go. So I'm gonna share this. You should be able to see that. And then we're gonna go to our next scene here. I'm gonna pull your camera in a second because I don't have our cameras here. Window capture.
There we go.
Google Meets. Where are you? Boom. Okay.
You're showing Twitter, I think.
Yeah, I'm just gonna crop. I have to literally manually crop everything because it's oops. Wow, what am I doing? Usually I work on this while Mikkel is talking. But,
Nice.
she's not
That's
here right now. So we'll just crop us. Okay, I can just crop us together like this.
Yapping.
Look at that. Perfect. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I think that should be good. All right, cool. Let's get into the beginning here. So let's start. Let's start with Bitcoin after this whole conversation with Bitcoin. So you can see you can see what I'm doing here, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, we are looking at the charts. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So what I usually do is I like to start with like the daily. I'm not gonna do the weekly and all that. I've been tracking this for a long time. Basically, I've been doing a lot of work since October 2023, and Bitcoin just loves to do these falling channels, long consolidation channels, and they
Mhm.
pop off like almost. Well, honestly, if you just traded these, you'd be just killing it. Like you would have been successful every time. I believe falling wedges break out to the upside. I believe it's like 64 to 78% of the time.
Okay.
Very, very, common way breakout winning trade mostly all the time. So I made this big from 2023 October. I made this huge channel, like a little not channel. What do you call it? Trend line, and it's bounced off this perfectly so far every single time. So we had the all time high before the halving, and then we had what, like, I think it was like 7 months consolidation. Mind you, you
Mhm.
won't know you're in a consolidation pattern until you're a little while into it.
You are.
You can try to forecast it, and I think the more you see it, the more you'll just get used to seeing it. But once you get in, you usually have chop. And the key thing is you came into this channel from an uptrend, which means continuation. And you go into here, you pop off. You go into here, you pop off. Same thing, falling wedge here, breakout, falling wedge, breakout. And that leads us to where we are now. I have us in another falling wedge on the daily. I have so I know you use a different indicator than me. I like to use the RSI and the stochastic
Mhm.
RSI, which I'm pretty sure the MACD and a lot of indicators basically run off that too. But I'll just keep it as simple as possible because I don't think I'm extremely smart in this stuff like that. So I need to keep it simple for
You,
myself.
you like the 200 day as well, right?
Yeah, so right now I have, well, on the daily, the 200 days like at like 98,000. So I don't think we're going to be touching the 200 day. For me, the line in the sand between bull and bear market is the daily 200-day moving average. When we lose that, it's not going to be great. So I don't expect us to see, us touch that for probably till the end of the market, right? So I have this falling channel going into, it can go up to August 4th, August 3rd, but it looks like we're at the top of the channel here, trying to break out. We have some nice wicks to the bottom, so it tells me momentum's coming up. Stochastic RSI is bottomed out. We still could stay here at the bottom for a while. So what I did is I just drew this line on the RSI, and I'll just wait for it to break through this little trend line. It's a downtrend, so I'll just wait for it to break through this trend line. Whether we come back to the bottom of the channel, which is 113,000, but don't panic because that's totally normal. That's fine. We're in a bull flag. Like this is a clear bull flag, and the next target for this bull flag is 128,000.
Oof.
Depending on when it breaks out. Like if it breaks it up here, we can go to 130,000. So, and it could even go higher. That's just like the measured move, right? You just go from the base here the previous
If,
breakout to now, right?
if it were to drop to the bottom of the channel right now, where does that take us?
So right now, look, this is the daily. So it would take, I don't think it would go, you're not gonna have one daily candle. So it'll probably take a couple days to go down here. So I'd probably say 113.3, 113, 112. That's where I would look. And that would be probably a really good buying opportunity. And it'll freak
Yeah.
a lot of people out.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then
God, we're going to zero.
you're gonna see all the bear thing. But like when you zoom out, like even if we went to the bottom of the channel, does that look bearish to you? That doesn't look bearish to me. It
Not at
just
all.
looks like a healthy consolidation pattern after an all-time high. Essentially, we made an all-time high and then we consolidated. That's what Bitcoin always does.
Yeah.
So
It's healthy.
that's,
That's healthy stuff right there.
if anything, that's what we want to see, right? So yeah, so then we'll go. And what I usually do is I'll just work my way back. So I start with the daily because the higher time frames are more accurate, and I'll just work my way back. So like let's look at the 12 hour. The 12 hour very similar, but the stochastic RSI still has yet to come down. So like I'm starting to lean on maybe we do start to see maybe middle of the channel. I do have two alerts here, one at 116.5 and one at 116.1. Just like hey, wake up, pay attention kind of thing, because like I might want to look at getting into a leverage trade if we start making our way towards that bottom of the channel. And then we'll go down to I'm just gonna go straight to the 4 hour. So the 4 hour, see the 200-day moving average is coming into the bottom of the channel, and I love a bounce off the 200-day moving average. So it's starting to,
Look like that's where it's going.
yeah, exactly. So I see the 200-day moving average coming down. We may, stay up here for a little bit. Maybe we break out, maybe we don't. If we don't break out, maybe we just bounce off the 200-day moving average on the 4 hour, which is totally fine, which would give time for the stochastic to come like bottom out, the RSI to go a little bit lower, and you just wait for them to both start curving up. And then once they start curving up, that might be a time to buy, and you catch the wave. I find like what I've been learning in crypto, it's you don't have to catch the whole move. Sorry, in trading, leverage trading, you don't catch the whole move. You just got to learn how to follow the waves and ride the waves, and take your profits, and and just do it over and over and over, and just keep a system in place, and just stay with discipline with your system. Like I do small trades. Like I might be up 40% in my trade, but it's like $20 because I have a small trading portfolio. But a 40% trade is good. I look at it percentage returns, and if I make 10 $20 trades, now I've made 1/10 of my portfolio back. Like if I got $1,000 portfolio and make $100, that's a tenth of your portfolio. If you consistently do that over time, you're gonna build, and that's the whole idea. It's a long-term game. And the great thing
Yeah.
about trading, you can make money up or down, right?
Right. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Now, again, you'll get those days where you'll catch a runner where, you might, when we get to altcoin season or whatever you're trading, I think Bitcoin's a little bit tougher, right? Because it's going to take larger moves to get those larger runs. But with some of the altcoins, like if you catch it, like I happen to catch a 20% day, I mean, think about the damage like positive damage that does, like in a good way to your portfolio.
Absolutely. So I think Bitcoin again, we this breakout happens again, but what I see here is maybe a little bit even of a little. Look at the 4 hour here. If you look at, it's kind of declining here, maybe descending channel.
A little rejection off the top of the
Yeah,
channel.
because that's a lower high, right? That was definitely a lower high and a lower low. So maybe actually, you know what? This is probably like a little bit of a mini bear flag here.
You know what
Actually,
they say? You're in a downtrend until you're not.
so here I'm gonna zoom in here so we can see this a little bit better. So here we go. So this is what I call like it's a bear flag, right? Rising wedge. You came into the rising wedge from a downtrend. So the next target maybe could be a little dumpski down to, if we rise up here, we can dump right down to my alert, like 116K, depending on where we break out. So yeah, it's not super bullish right now. I don't think it's time for it to break out, which is fine. You have a lot of volatility because I believe tomorrow is the FOMC meeting, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Or
no, sorry, is it the 31st? I know Canada and US this month are both doing rate decisions. So you might have some volatility this week, and that might be your move to back down to the daily or the 4 hour 200-day moving average. But
they say the Fed is unlikely to cut rates, but this week's meeting is packed with intrigue. That
yeah,
headline.
and I heard
Coming up.
something like the US is gonna release, or someone's gonna release their balance sheet with crypto. I think the US, something like that. So there's some stuff coming out today, or this week. So expect some volatility. I would not be getting in a trade right now. I would wait for it to make a decisive move and just react to it.
Wait till it makes either a breakout. And again, I just the idea that we could launch into the stratosphere at any point keeps me from shorting. But wait for a confirmation in order to really get into a trade especially when you're expecting some rough volatility.
Absolutely. Like you want to trade when you're in strength. So you don't want to be shorting in a bull market because you're statistically speaking, you'll be wrong more often than not. So
Right.
you want to be trading on the right side of the coin, and just find your setups.
It
And
was all of us, man. We were all bullish from December to April. Keep trading, and it just kept going down.
and we're now seasoned. We're a little bit better.
Yeah, we got
So
we're leather skins now.
But what I've learned, if you want to look for a good move, like the start of a pump, you go down to the 1 minute chart. And when you have
Now we're degens.
this is the minute. And now I wouldn't put the trade in, but you look to see where the wave starts, right? Like you catch the waves. So when you see this model here, when you see the 21 moving average, which is the white line here, touch the 200-day moving average, you usually tend to have a pump. Now,
Uh-huh.
does this mean you're going to go up for a while? No, it may be a small pump, right? And if we make like a bull flag above the 200-day moving average and above the 21, that's pretty good. So this is where you look to start the wave. So you look at the RSI. So for example, the this one right here, the white line touches the blue line, and we look at right where the RSI is. The RSI is looking like it was just starting to curve up. You can catch that little wave. It's a small move, but then we came up. You would have got a pretty good move here, and then you could have just wait for a start wickage, and you start getting out. Or you could have held it because you would have just bounced off that 200-day moving average and went all the way up here, right? Like it's a pretty good move. And when the 21 touches the 200 and you start to lose the 200-day moving average in the one, get out. And
Yeah.
like I've backtracked this for a while, like, and it works almost every time. Like every time the 200-day and the 21 touch, you get a pump, and you can just, and this is what you do: just stare at the charts and just keep backtracking your model and see how often it works. The more something happens, the more likely it's to happen in the future. All right, let's get into some other charts. We were talking about the Bitcoin dominance, so that's very, very important if we're gonna have an
Yeah.
altcoin season.
Look at that one.
So we dumped like huge dump. Let me go back to my daily here because it just looks way better on the daily. All right, so I've been tracking this huge uptrending channel, and we freaking rolled over. This is when ETH started popping off, and we rolled over hard, right? And we made kind of like a double bottom, and I had it in a little falling wedge, and we're coming, and it looks like we're kind of trending up again. So look for Bitcoin to be a little strong here. I wouldn't think altcoins are going to be super strong right now. Maybe we just come up to the 200-day moving average or even the 21 here, and we just get rejected. Overall, we're in a macro downtrend. Because actually no, we're not in a macro trend. That's the tether dominance. We just broke the trend, so we could start a macro downtrend, which would be a altcoin season. So look for these flags here. See if it rolls over. Stochastics, like again, the R side, we rolled over hard. We were in the red, so I expected a bounce at some point. This may be short lived. And then we compare this. I can't look at one without the other. You got to look at tether dominance. And tether dominance, we are in a macro downtrend. We've been in a downtrend for a while. I'm going to go to weekly here just because we need to see a lot of data. And we've been in a huge uptrend, and then boom, we rolled over. And this is like a bear market. This is what a bear market looks like for Bitcoin. Is you come down, you have an up. It's like the opposite of what I showed you, like a falling channel. You have an uptrending channel because you came into here from a downtrend, and then you have an uptrending channel, a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a rally, and then you dump again, and then you consolidate upwards, and you dump again, and this is the staircase, right? So we're still in the staircase. I've been tracking another channel, and we broke out of that, and so we're in a macro downtrend. We might have a little bit of a bounce here and there, but we're still in a downtrend. So we'll go back to the daily here, and we did break down out of my uptrending channel, and we're kind of just going sideways. So it's trying to make a decision right now. The stochastic is up high here, so we could definitely start to roll over. I think sometime in August. I think August, like you might start like kind of like I find like some months you'll just like dump into the first like week or so of the month, or you'll dump in the first week, you'll go sideways the second week, and the third week you start to have your rally.
I really think, like, honestly, I feel like, we've been saying in the morning show now for a little bit that October is really, I think we'll start to see some positive action from maybe everything, altcoins included. And so that gives a nice little cool off period for all of this. Like you said, we made an all-time high. Let's gather the troops, man. Let's retreat. Let's go back. Let's re-strategize. And that's always, again, that's the healthy part of the market. Like, we need to go back and collect that volume, because then, like, if you pull a volume profile, we may have, we've seen this before where we shoot up so fast. It's like built on a house of sticks. And so, to go back and collect some volume and really just kind of reestablish a ground floor, a new ground floor, if you will. I think that's smart. And it gives people like me time to stack some new chips between now and October.
Absolutely. Yeah, like we don't, honestly, we really don't have, like, we do have a couple months. Like, it's not like it's gonna end tomorrow, but like when you think about it, like we're 3/4 of the way done the bull market, right? Like you have, Bitcoin could probably top somewhere around October, and then November you have altcoins, and then you're done, right? And
What if we go What if we go on that decade-long run? What if we do that? What if we hit just like
We could. I
super
think
time to go?
I think for a super cycle to happen, you're gonna need to start to see more institutions getting in when we're talking about like pensions funds and stuff like that, like people that are not looking to sell anytime soon.
Yeah,
But
he's
I
got.
I don't think so. I did some research on the Genius Bill and the whole stable coins and it's the banking framework, and then I had a whole conversation with Google has their AI Gemini, right? I had a whole conversation with AI, and I'm like talking about it, and it basically was like I was trying to like, okay, with the Genius Bill, how long would it take for banks to adopt this? And the framework comes about 3 to 5 years, so it lines up with the next bull cycle. So I still think we have one more bear just because
Okay.
the banks are not going to have it all figured out yet. They're just going to get it started. But what I'm going to start, what I think you'll start seeing, like this is my mental model. This is how my brain works. I think we're going to have another bear market. 2026 will be a year of down, and then 2027 you're going to start getting news of like more banks adopting this, a stable coin from Bank of America stable coin, or Bank of Montreal here in Canada. You're going to start seeing all these banks and institutions adopting their own stable coins for the on ramps, for the retail, and you're going to start seeing good news, and that'll cause crypto to pump up because you usually have 1 year down, 3 years up, and then 1 year down again. That's how the 4 year cycle works.
Right.
And if that's the case, then I would say you break that 4 year cycle come next time because all the institutions will be ready to go. And when institutions and hedge funds and everybody gets in, what are they incentivized to do? They're incentivized to sell it to their customers. That's retail. And retail will be coming in because now they're going to be sold. Crypto's good. Crypto's safe. Crypto's the best investment of the decade. You're going to start that. I can already see the news articles coming out in my head already about it, right?
You're probably right, dude. When you think about it,
That's how my brain works. I could be wrong. It's all speculation. Nobody really knows, and
this
that's
is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Go pay someone else.
absolutely. So tell me, what chart would you like to look at? Like I know you have a couple
Look
coins
at
that
the
you're.
VeChain chart. Let's take a look at that.
All right, let's do it. This is another one I've been tracking for a while. Like I had this huge. Look at these huge falling wedges. I love me a falling wedge, man. I don't know if you've seen on my X. I've been posting a lot of falling wedges lately, and I like it because they break out to the upside more often than not. So I like patterns that work. Huge falling wedge all the way since December, like when we were all had euphoria and we were doing dances around the fire, and then we got wrecked. So this is the peak of my trading portfolio, and then I started to proceed to lose lots of money in trading. All my gains I made gone.
Came
Uh,
back.
yeah,
All of them.
paid him
Come
back.
back.
That was my due diligence to the market. But you know what? It's like you got to stick around in tough times and shit like this. You have to stick around because that's where like I find like the most work is done in the bear market. Like when shit's
100%. Oh,
boring
100.
and hard, you get to work on the bear market because you need to be ready to go in the bull market and know what you're doing with your mental model and like profit taking with price targets in mind. Your game plan should be like solid in the bull market because it's PvP, man, and you're fighting other like a chart is literally player versus player. All these candles are player versus player, buyers and sellers, and you got to get out of this market with some profit. Don't round trip shit.
Don't do it. Don't do it. That's the
So
whole goal. It's easy to make it. It's just hard to keep it. That's what they say.
So VeChain did break out of the falling channel. It kind of went up a little bit, and then we had a little bit of volatility, just falling the waves. But I'm kind of seeing a little bit of a kind of like a cup and handle over here. So I don't know if you can see here. Maybe we make a little bit of a little handle over here, and we have a little bit. And this is a pretty good time frame. Maybe we make a handle here and we pop off. If you were to cup the
I was gonna say, yeah, where's our measured mood take us?
actually, no, I think you can just do it like this. I think you just do the measured move like that. And you'd probably the next little move ski, and this is on the daily, could be somewhere around uh 3.1 cents. I really don't see things getting crazy for VeChain until we get above the daily 200-day moving average. If you look at coins that have really popped off, and we'll
Mhm.
just use I think Solana. See when Solana pops over the 200-day moving average on a daily, huge rip. Avax did the same thing, huge rip. We're kind of giving it back now. I think Ondo did the same thing, huge rip. Honestly, it's so funny when you start looking at the charts. Like all the altcoins look the same. Like almost every altcoin looks exactly the
How do they
same.
have the exact same amount of attention on them that they look the same all the time?
Like I'm
That's
looking at the probably because lately I've been staring at charts a lot more often, and I'm just like they all have the same freaking chart. Like they all look the same with the outliers. Like I think Cardano's a little weird. Like, Cardano's a weird chart. I don't trade Cardano. I hold Cardano, but I don't. It's a weird. It was a weird looking chart. Like it's all over the place. But yeah, V chain, cup and handle. Let's go to the smaller time frames to see like what's going on here. But I will say on the daily, the stochastic RSI is at the bottom. Could stay down here for a little bit. And then we just wait for this RSI to make some sort of a bullish pattern. It looks like we could bounce and maybe come a little bit lower. But we're at the neutral line. We're basically at the neutral line. So not overbought, not oversold. I'm just gonna get rid of my work here just to make it a little prettier. Okay, so we're on the 4 hour right now. So we kind of made a double bottom. Could we bounce off here, or could we come down to the 200-day moving average, or maybe this was the dip? We'll pull a Fibonacci and we'll take a look at where we can go. So, yeah, we can still have way more move to go. Like a 618 bounce would bring you basically right to the 200-day moving average. So, and a 618 bounce is a pretty common bounce to have. So, yeah, I would maybe wait to see if this comes
is
down.
that
Maybe
is
even
that what we need to do to either double bottom or if we break structure and we go below and create a lower low?
Well, from what I'm seeing here, like we came down, we made a bottom, we made another bottom, but the bottom is higher. So like, are we starting a new uptrend? Are we
Uh-huh.
just, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm kind of looking at that. But then if we're in maybe a rising channel like this, but we came into it from a downtrend, that's a continuation pattern. So, we can potentially come down to here, even below the 200-day moving average, or maybe even I'll put a line here. We'll maybe retest right here, like maybe retest this part right here, this high right here. So I'm not putting in a trade right here on VeChain right now. This is more of a, and I think most altcoins at this point will be like this. I'm just gonna be patient with it because I'm not 100% sure, and I want to trade when I'm more confident that I'm gonna win the trade than lose the trade.
Don't just there's no need to just get in just to get in.
Yeah, so I just watch. I really like to use the RSI and the stochastic to find, like, that's my wave. I follow what is the momentum doing, and then volume, of course. And we'll work our way down the chart, and we'll look at the 1 hour's another chart. The 1 hour lost the 200-day moving average. So what I like to do when I lose key moving averages, so the 1 hour lost the 200, I'll go to the 2 hour. Okay, we lost the 2 hour to a 200-day moving average, so I'll go to the 3 hour, and we're fighting with the 3 hour 200-day moving average. If we lose this, the next stop is the 4 hour 200-day moving average. That's again, it's following the trend, following the wave, whether it's up or down. And yeah, so right now we're struggling with keeping over. This is why you're seeing this, like, the sideways action, because we're just fighting with the 200-day moving average on the 3 hour. So in my opinion, every time I've seen something like this, most likely we just come down. We'll probably give it
And
up.
that's the continuation of the trend or the pattern that we're seeing anyway. So it does make the most sense. So
Yeah, so another buying opportunity for altcoins coming your way soon. Totally healthy. It's totally fine. And right now you might even have, like, because the Bitcoin dominance is starting to come up a little bit. Maybe you have a
mhm.
little Bitcoin rally. Maybe altcoins take a back seat for a little bit, and Bitcoin has a little bit of a rally. Maybe we go up to 120 again, and then altcoins take a little back seat. They'll come up a little bit with it, but they're not going to show strength. But yeah, wait and see for VeChain. Still a very good project. Still in a bull market. As long as we're over the daily 200-day moving average, or as long as we recover it, I'll be happy with that. But we're still good. Just gonna have to be patient. And I really don't think honestly, I'm not getting excited for altcoins until we start to get closer, like September, October. I don't even think August is going to be overly exciting for altcoins. I think it's going to be another Bitcoin show.
Everybody should just take the summer off, go touch some grass.
Well, that's essentially what people do. Is a lot of the big players. August is the vacation time, right? People go on vacation. Summer, they call it the summer lull for crypto, and August could be very much a nothing burger. And then September is the next, because there's no FOMC meeting in August. There'll be one in September, and that's where most likely you're going to see a rate cut. that because they already had scheduled, I think, like 2 rate cuts in the year. September and December, in my opinion, are the those 2 rate cuts. So you're definitely going to see it there. I would almost bet like 80% that you're going to have a rate cut in September, both for Canada and the U.S.
Now you guys seem to do it a week before us.
Yeah, we're like a week or two before you guys, usually in the
Like
same month.
had to have like your Independence Day on July 1st instead of the 4th. Like we do the 4th. Like you had to,
Yeah,
but we were like 90 years ahead of you guys, so I see how it is.
yeah, right. Like we had to get take off the shackles from Britain.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go and look at some degen stuff because that's how we do. We're gonna look at some things on deck screen. We're gonna look at home. So Mikkel requested that I look at home. She wants to see the home chart. Is this no? This can't be it. Okay, that's the one. It's not Home Alone. Can you imagine Home Alone coin? All right, let's see how it looks. These ones don't have a lot of data, so you got to work on the smaller time frames because they haven't been out for very long. So home on the daily up and to the right, and not bad. Like it's not ugly. It's not like it doesn't look like a stair stepper. If it looks like a stair stepper, get the fuck out. But if you have your ups and your downs, your chop, that's fine. That's exactly what you want to see. So let's move down to the 1 hour, and that's kind of what you're seeing. You're kind of seeing people just day trading this stuff, like selling tops, buying bottoms, selling tops, buying bottoms over and over and over and over. But it's up and to the right. That's a good trend, man. If you got in here July 25th on this little buy here, you're up 100%. You doubled your money, 104%. Yeah, man. It looks good. Let's bring up my indicators. Psi and the stochastic. Now the stochastic is a lot more sensitive. So if you're looking for those short-term moves, you want to look at the stochastic. But they both have, look at this. They both came off a bottom. They're both curling up. Might look pretty nice. Now, the question is, do we take over this high? Do we beat that high? Because we have a higher low. So I would look at this channel right here. We could bounce in this channel, or we can make it a new high. So home looks pretty good. Maybe this is just the start of a bounce here. Home looks pretty good.
An AVAX or what? What's the ecosystem?
Home is, I believe, on AVAX, if I'm not mistaken. I believe most of these coins are on AVAX. Let me just no, sorry, it's on Solana.
Okay.
Meteora.
Nice. I've been messing with like a trading bot. It's like not like a Telegram one. It's like an actual browser based one.
Is it the Bonk bot?
I've been deeging out. What's that?
Is it the Bonk bot?
No, it's a banana one, Banana Pro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I messed around with the Bonk bot. It was like some Solana bot back when like Solana was going crazy with all the meme coins. So home looks pretty good for a pump. I like it. If you're into home, get in. Not financial advice, of course.
Good, I guess, right?
Hell yeah. Let's look at so this one's pretty cool. So this is Nefty. Now Nefty was created by I don't know why I put the dollar sign. You don't need the dollar sign here. It was created by a Bored Ape holder, and he created a whole lore around his ape. So he created this whole story and a whole lore around his ape, and he got into the arena and made a coin, and it's just a bunch of people making creative things with the lore and the story and like he has like I believe like a comic book series with his ape, and it's Jack Nefty, and that's what the Nefty coin is. So it is an actual holder of the ape chain. I did when I first got into this. I'm like, are they like copywriting? Are they copying stuff? Because I messaged you about it, and you're like, yeah, you got to be careful about this stuff. So I'm like, ooh, okay, I got to be careful. And then I kind of like got into. I'm in the group chat with the community. Mikkel is kind of like leading the charge in the community there, and yeah. So from what I learned, it was Jack Nefty or the ape 8-4 something. I don't know the numbers. Sorry, forgive me. But it's one of the an ape holder, and he has a lore, and he doesn't like the way DAOs are created, so he wants to fix the way DAOs are done. And he got into like the whole social fi on AVAX, and it's just a bunch of cool people building, making memes, and just having a good time, and we'll see where it goes. But let's look at the technicals here. And I've had it in some falling wedges, and it did break out. So if you were following along every week, I've been talking about a little bit of Nefty here, and you followed my falling wedges, boom, up to the upside every single time. We broke. Even this one, we went sideways for a bit. We broke out. Uh, we've recently had a dip. The market cap has gone down. It is a very, very low market cap, 21K. So trade at your own risk. Um, the last falling wedge I tracked here, it was a little bit of a longer one. We did have a nice, like, look at this candle here, though.
Yeah, dude, that thing's crazy.
If you hit my falling wedge, that falling wedge would have brought you to a good 355% increase. If you caught that wick, and that might have been a very quick wick. That's on the hour, so that's a 1 hour wick. So if you were lucky enough to sell that, you 3.5x your money. I missed that one. But we did break out. We kind of rolled over a little bit, but so did the market. It just, if this is going to pop off, it's just not its time yet. Because you're gonna have Bitcoin, altcoins, the big boys altcoins, the big top projects, and then money will flow into meme coins and stuff like that. It is not time for meme coins. I'm sorry. It's not the time yet. You're not going to see crazy moves for meme coins right now. But what I do see here is the stochastic R side curving up, and same with the R side as well. They're both curving up, so could start. There's low volume here, so just be careful. This would be something, if you're gonna get in, just buy dips and wait and hold. In my opinion, if you believe in this, if you're gonna get into it, again, you want to load up on meme coins and stuff like that you believe in now before the wave hits. You don't want to be buying on the way up. You want to be selling on the way up.
Yeah.
So Nefty, again, wait and see. Again, we did lose. I put these two blue lines. We did lose some key support and resistance. So we'll have to wait and see. If you want to buy it, buy it. But for me right now, I did buy some on this breakout, and I'm just holding what I got. All right, what's the next one here? Oh, the next one's really good. I've been tracking this for a while. The Arena token.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, how is the Arena? What's going on in the Arena these days?
So the Arena's been pretty cool. I've been enjoying it. I know you've had your experience with the Arena Stars, which is actually kind of neat. And it has a lot of work to do. Like I'll be honest, I'm not an Arena ambassador, and I don't think I'm going to become one, because I want to be able to have my honest opinion about it and not have to be to say, promote it for specific reasons. But Arena's good. I like the Arena. I think it has a lot of potential. I think we need some features, just ease of life or ease of use features, like stuff like that. I know for like as a live streamer, I would love to see like a pop out chat instead of having, because I have to have like the window open. But like that's like such a small thing that they're probably not even thinking about right now. But I like the idea that you can create a community, and your community, you can monetize it, right? So imagine, people can buy your tickets and they can trade you tickets based on how big your community grows. If you want to make a coin, you can make a coin and it can reach a certain market cap. I believe it's 200K market cap, and then it becomes a tipping token, so you can use it to tip people in the stream and whatnot. So I really like the idea of distributing rewards to your community holders. I know Mikkel, what she was doing. She's an arena champion, and she makes once you become an arena champion, they give you airdrops of new coins that are coming out. And what she was doing was redistributing these coins to her ticket holders, which is giving back to the community. Which is actually, I love that. I think we need more of that. I know you had your experience with people just begging for AVAX and stuff like that. We need to get rid of those kind of people and the people begging for the coins, and creating value here to be able to make it valuable and bringing value to this and redistributing those rewards to the community.
Yeah. Now I had a really good, like, in the beginning, it was a great experience when Stars like first kicked off. It was a very positive, and I think it was just, much like, some Web3 games and all that stuff where they dinosaur tail off, and, the interest kind of weans. And then, like, instead of people putting up quality posts, they're just kind of begging for tips. But I mean, that was, I think, in putting like streaming and some of the other stuff, that I believe there is a decent looking roadmap for what they're trying to incorporate into the platform now, should hopefully make it a little bit more exciting than just static images and people begging for money, panhandling, digital panhandling.
Yeah. What I do love is Jason. He's always posting about stuff they're doing, listening to the community, voting on things that they want to get. They get the community involved in voting. They're talking about like potentially making their own L1.
Hmm.
So I like that they're just building. That's what I really want to see out of any platform. That they're consistently building. They're consistently listening to the community, and actively looking to improve the platform. And I have seen the improvements of the platform, which is really nice. It has a
Right.
long way to go, obviously, but I have high hopes for it. I really just from the time I got into it, even just creating a live stream is so much better, and it works really really well. Yeah, it just like what we're doing here with the Adoption Podcast is just trying to make good quality content on the arena. We're not panhandling, digital panhandling. We want to make good content.
Tip them below. Tip them below.
The whole idea is mass adoption. I think like the way I look at content creation, it's our duty to to show people, bring people into the space, educate them, and then help them, come in safely with good values and good, arm them with knowledge that they can feel comfortable getting into crypto and dipping their toes in, whether it be like what you're doing with the Be Better DAO, something that's familiar and activities that people are already doing, and dipping your toes in. And it's again, you need to
But
make projects and things for everybody, whether you like it or not. Like free speech is like, I don't like what you're saying, but I'm gonna fight for your right to say it. And it's the same idea with crypto. We need to make all these kind of different products and services, whether you like it or not. That service, you still should be able to advocate for people to make it.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, to what you were just saying there, man, it goes along that you've got to do the positive and the negatives, like much like, the show this morning when we were kind of highlighting one, the hack that happened to me, but also giving other people the ability to say what's been happening to them. Cause like a lot of people have been getting hacked lately. And so, we do have to, it's our duty, it's our responsibility as content creators to bring people in the correct way. And it's to tell them the good stories and the bad, unfortunately. And I feel like, I think we did a pretty good job with that this morning. Was like, hey, listen, this isn't like a doom and gloom kind of a situation, but y'all just got to know, like, if someone reaches out looking to book a podcast and things are fishy, it's going to be fishy. If it smells like shit, it's shit. Like for sure.
Absolutely. So looking at the arena token, we did break out of the falling wedge. Still, accurate with that, but we kind of went sideways and we rolled over. And unfortunately, we did lose a key level. I've been looking at this support line. I was pretty confident we were going to lose it. So now I move to my next line. I have 3 lines here. So do we bounce off this other line and flip it as support? That would indicate a bounce. Or do we lose it and then we have to watch the next support level, which would be basically back at where it started. So not overly bullish right now. Again, you're starting to see more things being the same with altcoins. Wait and see, wait and see, wait and see.
Wait.
And honestly, just either you buy this dip or you wait to see if it bounces off. I would wait to see if it makes it bounce off this line and then look to buy. So just give it some time, be patient, and yeah, just wait and see. I honestly wouldn't be buying it right now. I think there's a little bit of a change of hands right now. I think some people are unstaking their arena and getting out and putting it in different projects, and you're kind of seeing that reflected in the chart right now.
Mhm.
So I would wait and see. Just wait, keep your support and resistance lines. This is the next one, and this is the next one. Hopefully we get a bounce here. But I'll tell you, the stochastic RSI looks like it's curving, but the RSI kind of looks like it's curving down. So we could bottom out here on the RSI. I would put more weight on the RSI than the stochastic right now. So keep your eyes on arena. Not its time yet. And yeah, is there any other charts that you want to look at before we wrap?
Yeah, I think that the V chain thing was good enough for me, and I'm with you. The common occurrence across most altcoins is it's not right now. It's just what it seems like. It's maybe whether it's buy the dip or wait and see or consolidation mode or whatever it is. Stack your chips, take your time, use it wisely, make it happen.
I will tell you, like we were showing the Bitcoin chart and we were looking like we might, if we hit the bottom of the channel. If we do hit that bottom of the channel, expect all your altcoins to dip. And
Yeah.
the dip that we're talking about, that might be it. So it
Yeah.
could be a dip coming. I think right now, because Bitcoin dominance is going up, you're gonna have to watch Bitcoin to see where the market's gonna go. So keep your eyes on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes sideways or up, you're good. All coins are still good. But I am saying, like, Ethereum is pumping up right now. I'm just looking at it right now. We're up like, I think, like 50, $60 since we started the stream. So keep your eyes on that. My ETH trade are we in profit now? My ETH trade is not in profit yet. We're getting there.
Let's go.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much for coming on the stream. I really appreciate it. This was awesome, honestly.
Hell yeah, man, I
I was
appreciate you.
so excited for this all day. I was like a little giddy. I was so excited to have a sit down and collaborate with you. And thank you for coming on.
Oh,
Tell
hell yeah.
everybody where they can find you online, man.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you having me on and letting me fill in for your co-host and sit in that spot. It was great to chat with Ken. You guys can find me over on X, JChains X. It's the best way. I mean, you could search Google JChains and I'll be the one that pops up. So, yeah, just come check out the show. If you guys have not, I wouldn't expect, I would fully expect that most of you know about the morning show. But if you don't, come check us out, 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Web3 Breakfast Club. Mike, he's my homie. He's usually in the co-host seat over there now. Yeah, it's just it's a community show, man. By the community, for the community. We there's a couple topics we talk about throughout the week, but we like to just have fun. It's sit around the breakfast table, start your day out with a little dose of DGen and have a little fun with it. So appreciate you for having me.
It is a
fun.
great
Yeah.
show, and I love joining the morning show. I honestly, I don't even know how. I've been going for so long. I don't even know how I would do my morning without it at this point. But guys, thank you so much for coming by. Thanks for chatting the chat, and thank you for Ken for coming by. That was a great to hear a story. Honestly, that was more for me than anything. But I love it. Thank you guys for coming out, and we'll see you next week. And Mikkel should be back. Take care, guys.
Peace.